What's going on, guys? It's Steve. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another video. If it's your first time stopping by the channel, hit that subscribe button. Trust me, you won't regret it. You're a returning subscriber as always, guys. Welcome back, and I do appreciate the support. I like to wish everybody out there a happy Halloween. And you can see I'm hoodied up because it is freezing cold in Houston, Texas for some reason. I don't know why, but I hate the cold. That's why I left Jersey. So I'm kind of miserable. So you can keep this train moving. Now check this out. New developments have come out of Lewiston, Maine in regards of the mass shooter at the time, whose name was Robert Card, and the developments that led up to him doing what he did. And people had questions of whether this could be prevented or not. Well, new details have come out. And it was just like I said in my videos, and like a lot of you guys were thinking, did anybody see this coming? And the answer was yes. But for some reason, somebody turned either a deaf ear or a blind eye and didn't take this thing serious. And now we got some people that have lost their lives and other people that were wounded really badly. And all of this could have been avoided. Guys, take a look at the video. We'll come back and talk a little bit about it.
Disturbing new developments after last week's mass shooting in Lewiston, Maine. CBS News has obtained records showing both the Army Reserve and a Maine Sheriff's Department knew that the gunman, Robert Card, had made threats, that his mental health was deteriorating, and he had access to firearms. Nancy Chen has our report.
In May, more than 5 months before Robert Card shot and killed 18 people, his family reached out to the Saginaw County Sheriff's Office. They said Card's mental health was declining. He had started getting angry and paranoid in January, was falsely claiming people were accusing him of being a pedophile, and had access to firearms. According to records from the sheriff's office, a deputy called the Army Reserve Base in Saco, Maine, and learned officials there also had considerable concern. 2 months later in July, Card was admitted for treatment at a psychiatric hospital after the Army said he was behaving erratically, hearing voices, and making vague threats. He was released 2 weeks later. In September, the threats escalated. The Army Reserve said he threatened to shoot up the drill center at Saco and other places, and requested the Sheriff's Department do a wellness check at Card's home. His unit commander said, "I would rather err on the side of caution since he is a capable marksman." That day and the next, a sheriff's deputy went to the home but failed to contact him, prompting deputies to issue a statewide alert, warning he was known to be armed and dangerous. On September 17th, a deputy made contact with Card's brother, who said he would work to secure any firearms Card could access. 1 month later, the statewide alert was canceled, exactly 1 week before the mass shooting. Chris Swecker is a former deputy director of the FBI.
It looks to me like the bigger failure was on the part of the Army. I think the Sheriff's Department should have done a more proactive welfare check.
For CBS Mornings, Nancy Chen.
Guys, that news came out last night, and they're talking about it all this morning. And I got to admit, I'm not surprised. When this thing came out, I mean, a lot of us was on it. When small details came out of what he was and who he was, I'm like, okay, if he went off the hinges like this, somebody had to notice. This is not one of these situations where somebody just snaps and just does something. He was committed into a psychiatric hospital. A week later, he does this after they take off the public threat designation with him. Think about it. Once he went and got committed, they was like, oh, okay, we got him. Let's just take the notice off. He's getting the help he needs. That's still not enough. It's still not enough. A lot of times you go into these psychiatric places until when you start acting normal and they interview you and think they got you on the right dosage of medication, a lot of times they'll let you leave. And I think that's the case with this guy. I seen in another report he had up to 12 to 16 guns that at his disposal that he was racking up from other places and building an arsenal in his house. Like they said, this guy is a trained, skilled marksman. The writing was on the wall. Family members called the police on him. Hey, we concerned about him, not only for our safety, but the safety of everybody else. I honestly believe that. I think because Maine is up there and the crime is not like it is in other places, I think somebody was like, you know, and a lot of people know each other. Some people might have known him in law enforcement or whatever, like, he's always been like that. Either way, somebody dropped the ball. Now, I had mentioned before, hey, they need some type of red flag laws. Now, this guy was on that list. Okay, if you was on that list, they could have made sure he had no way to procure a firearm. Now, I'm not saying you can't get a firearm. Everybody knows people illegally get guns all the time. But I mean, they would have put the fail safes in place, checked his house, made sure he ain't had no weapons. I'm sure the family would have cooperated with him because they themselves was concerned. They said he would open the door half naked with a gun in his hand, like out of his mind. That's a scary feeling. Listen, if your people, your family is calling for help saying, hey, something's wrong here, that's all you need to know. I think once he got committed, because I mean, and this is another thing, even the Army Reserve was like, hey, listen, something's going on with him. He threatened to shoot the place up. And that's my thing is, why was he still in the Army? But once he did that, that's immediate discharge with dismissal. Because it's a terrorist threat against the government organization in which he was working for. So I honestly believe that a lot of people didn't take him serious. Now I want to move forward real quick. The whole thing that's messed up. Now, knowing all of this stuff, and all this stuff came out late last night, you lost somebody to this fool's madness, or somebody's hurt in the hospital right now, and they're looking in the hospital, they're looking up at the TV, and they're seeing that this shouldn't have happened and could have been prevented. The cops went to his house 2 times. After that, we didn't see him. It's sad, man. People lost children. I mean, not babies, but they lost their sons, their daughters, their mothers, their fathers. All because someone didn't take this threat serious. You know what I'm saying? Oh, this might not happen in Maine. Did you hear a lot of people? We could never think this would happen in our town. That's the thing. People tread lightly and sleep on a lot of issues that are out here until it affects us. You know what I mean? And in no way, shape, or form am I bashing the state of Maine or Lewiston, because this type of stuff shouldn't happen at all. And nobody should really have to think about this. But I mean, when people are disgruntled, people are upset, or they have mental illness, which seems to be on a rise nationwide, stuff like this happens. We need to take this type of stuff serious, whether it's in Lewiston, Maine, LA, Houston, wherever. All it takes is one nut to crack and all hell breaks loose and we see it. This could have been avoided, and a lot of different agencies was alerted. But it seems like people pass the buck and put it on somebody else, and then all of a sudden, oh, who's to blame? Everybody's doing this. It's a sad day, man, out there in Lewiston. A lot of people lost their life. And then I'm going to tell you something. I don't have the video. It's a short out here. And it shows Robert Card's father. And I wanted to do a video on that, but I can't find the short anymore. It showed Robert Card's father doing I guess it was on Instagram or something where, they do them little shorts where they talk, face the camera and talk. The man was speaking and he was humbly apologizing for his son's actions. And he was saying, he don't know what made his son do that. He don't know what was going on in his son's head. He feels bad about the victims. And there's a dark side, an even darker side to the dark side that's out here, which is basically what falls on the people after you do something and then take yourself off the planet with a name of those that supported you as a family. You leave all of that stuff that you do on them. That man was distraught, y'all. Now, he didn't shoot anybody or do anything to anybody, but it's all left on him because he is said father of this guy. And man, the hurt on his face and the way he was talking, I felt so bad for the guy because, I mean, he didn't do it. But the shame is on his name. It's on his family. He birthed this man. You understand what I'm saying? People don't think about that. You know, when I was younger, I was taught, hey, you better not do nothing when you bring shame on the name of this house or embarrassment in here. And I passed it on to my sons, and it worked for us. It worked. I just don't understand. When we do crimes out here, it don't only affect us. It affects those that are behind us. You know, family members, after we're gone from committing an atrocity, it all falls on them. Even though there's still victims out here, and they understand sometimes the anger is directed against the wrong people, those that had nothing to do with it, but are the same likeness, and that's wrong. I'm Stock Market Steve for the Dynamic Reason channel. As always, like, comment, share, and subscribe. See you guys in the next video. Take care.